The words cut through the marble lobby like a knife, echoing off crystal chandeliers as the blonde receptionist sneered. The black woman stood frozen at the front desk of a luxury hotel while security moved in to physically remove her. But here's what none of them knew. The woman they were humiliating, calling a criminal, and trying to throw out owned the entire hotel chain. And one phone call later, every single person who participated in this racist attack was fired on the spot. It was 9:30 p.m. on a cold Tuesday evening at the Grand Metropolitan Hotel in downtown Chicago. The marble floors gleamed under crystal chandeliers, reflecting the warm golden light that bathed the opulent lobby. The automatic glass doors slid open with a whisper, and in walked Lauren Matthews. At 37 years old, Lauren carried herself with the quiet confidence of someone who had fought for every success in her life. Her intelligent brown eyes scanned the lobby with the practiced gaze of someone who noticed details others missed. Her natural hair was pulled back into a neat bun, though a few strands had escaped, framing her face in a way that softened her determined expression. Lauren's navy blue business suit, while expensive and well-tailored, showed the telltale signs of a long day of travel. Despite her obvious fatigue, there was something unmistakably dignified about the way Lauren moved. She approached the front desk with the measured steps of someone accustomed to being judged before speaking a single word. Behind the imposing mahogany desk stood Sarah Mitchell, 32, the picture of conventional beauty standards. Her blonde hair was styled in perfect waves, not a strand out of place despite being near the end of her shift. Her makeup was flawless. But as Lauren approached, something ugly flickered across Sarah's face. Her blue eyes narrowed, lingering on Lauren's natural hair, her slightly wrinkled suit, her modest suitcase. Lauren said warmly, "Good evening. I'd like to book a room for tonight, please." The request was simple, straightforward, but Sarah looked Lauren up and down with undisguised disgust. "I'm sorry. We don't have any rooms available." But the Grand Metropolitan's lobby was nearly empty. An elderly couple sat by the fireplace. A businessman tapped on his laptop. The atmosphere was serene, the kind that came when a hotel was far from capacity. Lauren noticed immediately. "Are you sure?" "It seems pretty quiet tonight." Sarah's mask slipped. "This is a 5-star establishment. We don't host people like you here. You obviously can't even afford it. You should try the shelter downtown." The irony was devastating. Lauren Matthews, the woman being told she belonged in a shelter, actually owned the very hotel where she was being denied service. But Sarah didn't know this. Standing behind Sarah, giggling, was Amy Chen, the 24-year-old assistant clerk. Amy leaned over and whispered something that made them both suppress laughter. From the side, Jessica Torres, the 27-year-old night manager, approached with disdain, rolling her eyes at Lauren's request. Lauren remained calm. "Do you need my credit card or ID?" She reached into her purse and pulled out a black American Express and her license. The card was ignored. Sarah smirked. "The card is probably stolen or fake anyway. We don't want trouble," Amy snickered. "She probably can't even afford our parking rates." Lauren held her composure. "Is there a problem with my credit card or ID?" she asked, voice calm but firm. Jessica decided to step in. "The problem is you don't belong here. This isn't that kind of neighborhood," Lauren replied. "I'm a paying customer requesting a room." "What's the issue?" That was when Marcus Johnson, the security guard, stepped closer. "Lady, you heard them. Time to move along." Lauren took a deep breath. "I'd like to speak with the manager, please." Jessica puffed up with arrogance. "I am the manager, and I'm telling you to leave." "Then I'd like to speak with the general manager," Sarah sneered. "Mr. Richardson doesn't waste time with people like you." Amy added, "Yeah, he's got real guests to worry about." Lauren drew herself up. "I simply want to book a room. I have valid payment and ID." Jessica leaned forward. "We're full. Can't you understand English?" Marcus cracked his knuckles. "Want me to escort her out now?" Then Robert Richardson, the general manager, arrived. At 55, he looked the part of a man who had never been challenged. His eyes landed on Lauren with immediate hostility. "What's this commotion?" he demanded. "This woman won't leave," Sarah said. Richardson looked Lauren up and down. "Ma'am, I think you're lost. The bus station is 6 blocks that way." Lauren's voice was steady. "Sir, I'm requesting to book a room at your hotel." "Our rooms start at $400 per night," Richardson said smugly. "That's probably more than you make in a month," Jessica muttered. "She's probably here to case the place." Richardson waved to Marcus. "Remove this woman immediately." She's disturbing our atmosphere. Lauren stood her ground. I'm not leaving until someone explains why I can't book a room with available credit and valid ID. Richardson sneered. Because we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, and we don't want your kind here. The mask was off. Lauren calmly reached into her purse and pulled out her phone. I'm going to make a call. Call whoever you want, Sarah sneered. Nobody's going to help you, Lauren dialed. David, assemble the board for a meeting at Grand Metropolitan Hotel in 1 hour. Richardson scoffed. What kind of games are you playing? Lauren's voice was calm. I'll be back in exactly 1 hour. Have your head manager contact the branch manager immediately. Richardson laughed dismissively. But Lauren Matthews wasn't just any customer. She was the CEO and majority owner of Sterling Matthews Hospitality Group, which owned the hotel and paid Richardson's salary. In 1 hour, they were going to learn what happened when you discriminated against your own boss. Lauren walked out with dignity, though her fury was controlled. In the parking lot, she pulled out her phone again. Her first call, David, pull all management files for Grand Metropolitan immediately. Start with Robert Richardson, Sarah Mitchell, Jessica Torres, Amy Chen, and Marcus Johnson. I want every detail about how they've treated guests. Her second call was to legal. I was just denied service at the Grand Metropolitan based on my race. I want security footage pulled and a complete civil rights violation report on my desk by morning. The third call, board members, emergency meeting in 45 minutes. We have a serious civil rights violation at one of our properties. Heads are going to roll tonight. While Lauren prepared, the hotel staff congratulated themselves. Sarah gloated to Amy, good riddance. These people always think they're entitled. Amy sneered. Did you see her cheap suitcase? Probably from Walmart, Jessica said with relief. At least she's gone. We can serve real customers now. Marcus muttered. Should have let me throw her out from the start. Richardson, uneasy, called his superior. Sir, we had an incident. Some woman claimed she was calling a board meeting. He tried to make it sound like a nuisance, but outside, SUVs began pulling up. Executives stepped out, moving with purpose. Richardson's voice faltered. There are people arriving. They look like board members. William Hayes, the branch manager, walked into the lobby like a man on a mission. Robert, he said coldly, what the hell happened here tonight? Richardson puffed up with false confidence. Sir, we just removed a disruptive person. Standard procedure. Then the lobby doors opened again. Lauren Matthews walked in, flanked by board members. Richardson shouted, Security! This woman is trespassing! Hayes turned to Lauren. Recognition crossed his face, then fury. Robert, I'd like you to meet Lauren Matthews, CEO and majority owner of Sterling Matthews Hospitality Group, everyone's boss. The silence was deafening. Richardson went pale. Sarah's smug smile collapsed. Amy clutched her mouth in horror. Jessica stepped back. Marcus shrank where he stood. Lauren, the woman they had mocked, humiliated, and threatened, owned the entire hotel chain. And she was here for justice. The marble lobby fell into terrified silence. Lauren stood tall, her voice sharp but steady. 2 hours ago, I attempted to book a room at this property. I was told this hotel doesn't serve my kind. Miss Mitchell, would you like to repeat what you said to me? Sarah stammered. Miss Matthews, I didn't know. If I had known who you were... Lauren's eyes cut through her. So your racism was conditional? You only discriminate against black people who aren't rich enough? Your prejudice had a salary threshold? Richardson tried to interrupt. Miss Matthews, there's been a terrible misunderstanding. Lauren's voice sliced him down. The only misunderstanding is how you all still had jobs. She turned to Jessica. You said I was here to case the place. You told me I didn't belong in this neighborhood. Explain that, Jessica's voice cracked. I didn't mean... You meant exactly what you said. You looked at a black woman asking for a hotel room and assumed she was a criminal. That wasn't a misunderstanding. That was racism. Lauren turned to Amy, who was already sobbing. You said my card was probably stolen. What exactly made you think that? That my money couldn't be legitimate because I'm black? I'm sorry. You didn't mean what, Amy? To assume a black woman couldn't afford to be here? Finally, she faced Marcus. And you, so eager to intimidate me physically. Ready to drag me out like a criminal when all I did was request a room. Marcus dropped his eyes. Then she looked directly at Richardson. You told me the rooms cost more than I make in a month. You told me to go to the bus station. And when I persisted, You ordered security to remove me for disturbing the atmosphere." Hayes scribbled notes, his face dark with anger. Lauren's next words ended careers. "Mr. Richardson, your employment is terminated immediately." Richardson went pale. "You can't do this. I'll sue for wrongful termination." "I have rights," Lauren cut him off cold as steel. "Please do. I have security footage, witnesses from the board, and documented evidence of federal civil rights violations. I'd welcome the opportunity to present your behavior in court. But let me save you the trouble. Racism is not a protected activity." One by one, like dominoes, Sarah, Jessica, Amy, and Marcus were all fired on the spot. Years of employment gone in minutes by their own choices. Lauren's voice was steady. This wasn't one person having a bad day. This was institutional racism from the front desk to the general manager's office. And it ends tonight. The board stood silent as Lauren delivered her verdict. "Every single one of you participated in blatant racial discrimination. You told me I belonged in a shelter. You accused me of theft. You threatened me with removal. Tonight, you revealed the culture you've built here. And now I'm tearing it down." One by one, the employees realized their careers were over. Sarah wept as Lauren reminded her, "Your comment about you people is on security footage. Good luck explaining that to your next employer." Jessica's face twisted with dread. "You said I was casing the place, as if every black guest is a criminal. That is in your employment file forever." Amy's sobs grew louder. "You assumed I couldn't afford to stay here, that my card was stolen. That prejudice makes you unfit for hospitality." Marcus, the once menacing guard, shrank under her gaze. "Your eagerness to use force against a paying customer shows why you should never hold authority again." Hayes shook his head. "Lauren, I had no idea this was happening at our properties. This is unacceptable." "That's the problem, William," Lauren replied. "We weren't vigilant enough." Prejudice flourished because no one thought there'd be consequences. Tonight proves otherwise. But Lauren wasn't there only to destroy. She was there to rebuild. Within days, a new leadership team was in place. Maria Rodriguez became general manager, a leader with a career dedicated to inclusion. James Washington, once a civil rights advocate, took over the front desk. Patricia Kim, trained in cultural competence, became night manager. When Lauren approached the desk again, Maria greeted her with warmth. "It would be our honor, Miss Matthews. Welcome to the Grand Metropolitan. How can we make your stay exceptional?" The contrast was striking. This was hospitality, genuine, dignified, inclusive. Lauren implemented bias training across her entire hotel chain. She partnered with civil rights organizations. She created systems for guests to report discrimination, ensuring no one's complaint would ever be ignored. "Racism in business isn't just immoral," Lauren told an industry gathering 6 months later. "It's economically stupid. When you exclude customers based on prejudice, you turn away money, damage your brand, and create liability. Most of all, you perpetuate hate." Her reforms spread beyond her hotels, sparking change across the industry. The Grand Metropolitan, once a site of humiliation, became a model for inclusive hospitality. Guests of all backgrounds now felt welcome and valued, Lauren reflected, standing in the transformed lobby. The most powerful response to hate isn't more hate. It's building something better. Sometimes you must tear down the old to build something new. They showed me their character that night. Then I showed them mine. Justice had been served, not with anger, but with precision, dignity, and vision for a better future.